I'm gonna double check. Okay. Hello, welcome to the stream. Today we're actually showing gameplay. Oh, I can't believe I did that yesterday. I felt embarrassed. But it got a good bit of views, so I presume maybe my voice was okay to listen to. Maybe. I owe you an apology. For what? The way I was when you first came down here. I was out of line. You didn't deserve it, and truthfully, you become one of the few in this place I can trust. You going soft on me? Take the opportunity to see the soft side now. You won't see it again anytime soon. Well, I appreciate it, but you don't owe me anything. We're partners now. Well then, partner, it's about to get a whole lot worse. Case just came in. It's a kid. 16. We got pizza, but I don't like that it's a kid. I hope that they're not dead. Maybe it's like a break-in or something simple. Not it doesn't all the game's murder or mystery machine, but it doesn't always have to be murder, right? 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 Game? Game. Come on, it doesn't have to be murder. It can be something Of course it is. A crime scene with such a young victim. It's harder than I thought it would be. It won't be our last. You'll need to get used to it. I know. I just wish we didn't have to. Same here. I'll investigate the body first. Then I'll ask the witness. Justin Kugler. Oh. Well, there's a bat. I'm Detective Clark. You must be Max? Yeah, that's me. I believe you called us in. I need to ask you some questions. Okay, I'll do whatever I can to help. I know it's hard, but if you could walk me through what happened? We were on our way home, minding our own business, when Zeke and his boys attacked us. You know your attackers, Zeke? Zeke Matthews and his gang of thugs. Everybody knows him. That's the guy you want. He killed Justin. Anyone else see what happened? It'd be hard for a crowd like that to go undetected on the street. Around here, even if someone did see, they would keep their mouth shut. What can you tell me about the victim? His name's Justin Kugler. He's a good guy, and he was my friend. I'm sorry you had to witness all this. Is there anything about Justin you think I should know? I don't know what else you need. He didn't deserve to die. You said you and Justin were attacked. You managed to get away without a mark, though. I knew it was coming as soon as I saw them. I told Justin to run, but he wouldn't follow me. You ran away and left him there? I hid. I had to. Zeke's crazy. You should have seen the look in his eye. He was out for blood. Okay, so Justin is attacked and you run and hide. What then? I waited till they'd gone, then came out. Justin was covered in blood and he wasn't moving. That's when I called for help. Must have been a scary time for you. You did the right thing calling us. I should have done more. I just didn't know what to do. Maybe I could have saved him. Alright, good bit of information. Oh. I keep trying to click and drag, but I don't click and drag. Charred baseball bat? Why is it charred? This explains why it's probably charred. I know what I mean. It doesn't... That's not quite the words I want it to use, but it makes some level of sense, I think. Mind if I ask you some further questions regarding what happened? Okay, I'll do whatever I can to help. Have you ever seen this bat before? That's the bat Zeke used to kill Justin. He was swinging it around like a madman. And he was the only one using the weapon. You seem pretty sure it was him. He was the only one. Tell me about the second bat. If it was only Zeke swinging, whose is this? That's mine. I know how shady it might look, but I panicked and threw it in the fire. You have to believe me. What were you doing with a bat in the first place? In this area, you have to be packing something. So you walked around with a baseball bat? I wouldn't use it. It was just to scare people off. Well, that was the plan. Do you know why Justin would have drugs in his backpack? It's got nothing to do with me. He never told me anything about drugs. I couldn't help notice that, well, how to put this? You smell like garbage. It was the dumpster where I hid. I didn't think they'd dig me out of there. They didn't even try? Nah, I guess they were busy with Justin. I'm still not sure how Zeke knew you both would be here in the first place. Was he meeting Justin here for a deal? As I said, Justin never said anything to me about the drugs. If he was meeting Zeke, he would have told me. Like he told you about the drugs? Okay, well, maybe he was then. How he found us isn't important. It's what he did. Do you have any idea where we can find him now? He'll be together with all those thugs. Big man hiding behind his gang. Alright. Well, I would guess this is right. I didn't discover something. I still got it right. You okay? Yeah, he was just so young. Let's make sure we find some justice then. Anything from the lab yet? The bloods from the bat and the grass are with them. Should be confirmed as the victims. I'll run the bloody baseball bat for prints. Where are we on COD? Incoming. And the contents of the backpack? ID for the victim, confirming his name and age, and a security pass for Dali Dali, a game studio. We're looking into it. We need to talk to the mother. It doesn't get any easier. No, it doesn't. Unfortunate. Is the Sunrise Diner where we were before with that one girl, or is this somewhere new? Because the name seems... You don't need to do this. I can take the lead. I have to do it sometime. This is the place. It's gotta be the place. It looks like the place. Mrs. Kugler, I'm Detective Clark. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. I just can't believe he's gone. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about Justin? Of course. I want his killer found. I want his killer found. Could you tell me a little more about your son? He was a good kid. I know every mother says that, but he really was. I'm sure he was. Any enemies to speak of? Enemies? Not Justin. He was just focused on his internship and making something of himself. How was Justin getting on at school? Well, he wanted to make video games. He was even interning at a game studio. Deli. School and a job? He must have been working pretty hard. He was. I was so proud of him. School was starting to fall into the background, but I knew he was set for great things. If Justin was interning after school, what time would he normally get home? He would usually get to the diner for about 6:45 p.m. latest, and he'd eat here. I'd have it waiting for him. And he didn't say anything about going somewhere else yesterday? The park where he was found, was that on his route home? No, nothing. He would always walk that way, but he never ran into any trouble before. Do you know Max Glover? I know him. Don't think much of him. He was always hanging around Justin. What's he got to do with this? We're just following up on all connections to Justin. We need all the facts if we are going to catch the killer. He was always there, getting Justin in trouble. Nothing serious. I just had a bad feeling about him. Did you ever hear Justin mention a Zeke Matthews? Now there's trouble. Max may have been a bit of a punk, but Zeke was bad to the core. Were Justin and him friends? Zeke was a bully. I told Justin to stay away from him. Everyone knew what he was like. Is Justin's father on the scene? He hasn't been around for a long time. Does Justin have any contact with his father? God, no. You even mentioned his name and that would set Justin off. So it's just you and Justin in the house. We live with my mother. She's not well, so I look after her as well. Was Justin ever involved with drugs? Justin would never be involved in drugs. Why are you talking about drugs? Some were found at the scene, so we have to ask the question. There's no way they were Justin's. They must have been planted. Who was with him? I'm sorry, Mrs. Kugler, but I can't disclose any more information regarding the case. I think that's all for now, Mrs. Kugler. Thank you. Catch whoever did this, please. Alright, let's talk to this guy. Mr. Stanfield, thanks for speaking with me. I'll try not to keep you too long. That's a good voice. I don't exactly have a large repertoire, but I just can't believe this happened to Justin. No, that's a bad voice. I just can't believe that happened to Justin. No. I just can't believe that happened to Justin. I'd like to ask you a few questions. Anything I can do to help? How well do you know Miss Kugler? She's worked here for a couple of years. We're pretty close. Pretty close? Are you two involved? There was a time when I thought it was going that way, but she's just got so much on her plate. I just try to be there for her. What can you tell me about Donna's relationship with her son? Donna was devoted to her boy. After his father left, he was all she had. Did you see yourself replacing him? I told you, it's not like that. She doesn't have time for a relationship, not while caring for her mother, too. I take it Mrs. knew Justin pretty well, too? He was a good kid, although I hadn't seen him around here as much as I used to. Busy with his internship? It sounds like he was really making a go of his life. He was, but he spent most of his time there after school. He wouldn't normally get to the diner till late, maybe 8:15 p.m. Donna missed having him here more. They were close. Do you know much about his friend Max? From what Donna says, he was the instigator to whatever trouble Justin would get into. But they were just boys being boys. And Zeke Matthews? What's he got to do with anything? Justin and him weren't friends. I'm getting that. Is there something you can tell me about him? Why would I know anything about him? He's just a thug. His father should have put him in line a long time ago. And how is business? Things are picking up, finally. It's been a tough few years. The new water treatment plant is helping us in the area. Without it, things would have gone from bad to worse. Thank you for your time. Of course. Anything I can do to help, Detective? That water treatment plant's getting mentioned a lot. Am I really gonna rub it in her face that she's wrong about a time when she's grieving? I was wondering if I could ask you a few more questions regarding your son. Of course, I want his killer found. You'd mentioned that Justin was arriving at the diner later than you thought, after 6:45 p.m. Could you have been mistaken? Well, it was around that time, but I suppose, yeah, he was showing up later recently. I was worried that he would burn himself out working so late at Dolly Dolly, but I knew he was doing what he wanted to. I tried to have his dinner ready for him coming in, but it was hard to know his schedule recently. Well, I would assume it's that. I'm gonna try this. I don't think it's right, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Oh, I completely missed that there's items existing there. I should have probably looked around, huh? Especially because there might be one of the hidden items. My brain, I didn't think. I was just really focused on them talking. This is going to be a tough one, but do me a favor. Don't go making the mother any promises. I won't. I mean it. I've been here before. It doesn't end well. I told you I won't. COD has been confirmed. Blunt force trauma. Justin was, as Max claimed, beaten to death. And a background check on Max Glover is in. Frequent trouble with the law, mostly misdemeanors, although this is interesting. Affiliations with local gangs. You kept that quiet, Zeke Matthews. Uniform confirm everything we've heard. A real piece of work. Vandalism, petty theft, assault, and surprise, surprise, connected to a local gang. How are we doing with the blood work? Blood and DNA on the baseball bat has been confirmed as Justin Kugler's. Looks like it's our murder weapon. Any prints? Yeah, but they're inconclusive. Figures. There's also a logo on the bat. I'm sure I've seen it before. I think we should pay a visit to Dali Dali. If we're going to get anywhere with this case, we need more than just information from Justin's friends and family. Good thinking. You go. You're not coming? I'm going to check out the logo on the bat. Leave it with me and I'll track it down. I can't go back either, I don't think. Nope. I mean, it's fair, but my brain was not even there. I was just like, man, this is getting interesting. Alright, I don't see anything shiny. That's probably where it was the diner. Thank you for meeting with me, Mr. Ngo. Kevin, please. I won't keep you long. I only have a few questions. How can I help? What was your impression of Justin? Justin seemed like a good kid. Keen to learn, initially anyways. But it didn't last long. You don't sound overly impressed with him? I think the novelty wore off and he realized this was actually a job. It got to the point he was always late, if he showed up at all. Do you have any idea as to why that was? I know it's a cliche, but I think he fell in love with the wrong crowd. The wrong crowd? Kids these days would rather join a gang and run around town causing trouble than actually do something with their lives. Can you tell me more about Justin's behavior? When did his attitude change? It just became one thing after the next. I started out with high hopes for him. Then his friend turned up at the office, and when I asked why he was here, Justin blew me off like a sullen child. You were his boss, surely you said something. I tried, but it fell on deaf ears. I'm sorry to say it, but most of the time it was easier to just ignore. Why didn't you just let him go? Ordinarily I would have, especially with an intern, but I was doing it for his mother. You know Miss Kugler? Or Miss Kugler? We knew each other from high school. It was her that contacted me. She wouldn't work for Justin. It wasn't even paid, but she was adamant. She said it was what Justin wanted. This friend of Justin's? You shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but in this case, he looked like one of the wrong crowd I mentioned. He came in, said Justin had something for him, and when I told him he wasn't here, he left. Did he say what Justin had for him? I think it was more Justin had something to sell. Would you recognize him if you saw him again? I don't know if I would recognize his face. I'd be more likely to remember his tattoos. Justin has been getting home later recently, but you implied that he wasn't working late? He wasn't here. He was usually gone by close of business. What time roughly would you say? 5 p.m. He would be long gone. It's normally just me left in the office. That's the life of a game producer. Joy, oh joy. From unknown to Justin. I hear you're the guy to talk to. I'm trying to get my hands on something for the weekend. I'm looking for top grade, and I've heard yours is the best. Are you around tonight? I can meet you. Downtown Park at 7 p.m. Important. All employees, a reminder to sign out all equipment every time. The sign-out sheet has not been kept up to date and a number of items have recently gone missing. If anyone has any of the missing kit and forgot to sign them out, please let me know ASAP. Everyone has access to the equipment, and I am sure we all want it to stay that way. If this persists, equipment will be restricted and monitored. Any questions? My door is always open. I mean, nothing about that seems strange. There's the shiny. I don't feel so bad. Mind if I ask you a few more questions about Justin? How can I help? You only have one Justin working here at Dully Dully? That's correct. That was his work terminal over there. I unlocked it before you arrived. I take it that email is news to you? If ever there was a sign he was involved in something he shouldn't be. I saw the sign about the missing equipment. Things have been going missing, and as expected, no one seems to know anything about it. What sort of things? It started out small. It was when the pricier items started walking at the door that I took notice. How pricey are we talking? Thousands of dollars worth of equipment missing in the space of a couple of months. Can you tell me about these drawings I found? I found them on Justin's desk. He's a talented artist, but those weren't for any of our projects. You hadn't seen these drawings before? I certainly hadn't asked him to work on anything like that. It almost looks like a tattoo design or a logo. Thanks for your time. Mind if I ask you a few more questions about Justin? How can I help? Do you have any suspects for the missing equipment? A few months ago, I wouldn't have even thought it could be Justin, but it's too coincidental. With his attitude change and that friend of his showing up, he left me no choice. No choice to do what? When he was away from his desk, I went through his bag. I know as an employer I shouldn't have, but it was my equipment flying out the door. Pretending that you hadn't just told a cop you broke the law, did you find any sign of the missing equipment? Nothing. Only more of those drawings. He wasn't happy when I questioned him either. Told him you had been through his bag? I had to try and get the truth. He was my only real suspect, but I got nothing. These drawings of Justin's, you mentioned they look like a tattoo? What makes you say that? The guy that came in asking for Justin had something similar on his forearm, only faded. Do you think Justin could have copied it from him? Maybe. It wasn't identical, but similar enough, almost like an updated copy. Excuse my bluntness, but you appear to have seen the real Justin. What do you think happened to him these past months? Even after everything, I hope it wasn't a gang he got himself involved with, but judging by the looks of the company he kept, he had the opportunity to make something of himself. It was a real shame to see him throw all that away. Thanks for your time, Kevin. No problem. I don't think it was theft related. So incorrect deductions, but whatever. How did you get on? Is Justin really the innocent boy Donna believes? Let's just say Justin had a side to him that she was oblivious to. Do you think she was lying? No, I think she was in denial. No mother wants to believe their kid is involved with that sort of thing. Max must know more about the real Justin. Maybe we should bring him in for further questions. Good idea. Did you get anywhere with the logo on the bat? Yeah, it's from a sports bar downtown. One of your regular haunts? Maybe once or twice. Lead the way. The Guy Sports Bar. Is the owner named Guy, or... Interesting place. I can see why you like it. I don't know if I would say like. Is your name Guy? It is. Mr. Abbott, I'm Detective Clark, and over there is my partner, Detective Houston. About time. You hear about the trouble last night, right? What trouble? Those kids were back. Y'all apparently gave them a warning last time. Bad lot that did. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry isn't going to stop them. They were intimidating my customers again, vandalizing the bar again, and they stole my pride and joy. I have a feeling my questions may all be related. Then ask Way if it helps catch those thugs. What do you need to know? Let's start with you telling me more about these kids that came in. I told you, this isn't the first time I've reported them causing havoc. Well, this is the first time I've investigated it. So if you could answer my question. Fine. About 10 of them came charging in and headed straight for the bar. You didn't serve them? I'm not stupid. Not like they didn't try, though. They were loud and annoying, but they were just the distraction. While I was dealing with them, one of them was trashing my pool table. The one at the pool table, was he the ringleader? Not sure if you'd call him the ringleader, but he was definitely the one causing the damage. If he was acting alone, perhaps he was showing off, or showing his worth to the gang. Maybe that's what he was doing. He did a good job. Definitely was the main. He was definitely the main attraction. I don't suppose you heard his surname, Matthews? Zeke Matthews? I've been out of the troublemaking business a long time, but even I know you don't use full names. Would you be able to give me a description of him? Apart from being in his late teens, nothing distinct about him, just your average thug. What's so important about him, anyways? We've had reports of similar damage in other businesses around town. They could be linked. It wouldn't surprise me. They get away with it once, they're going to keep doing it. Thank you, Mr. Abbott. That's enough questions for now. That. Mr. Abbott, mind if I ask a few more questions? What do you need to know? Assume this is the spray paint he was using. Must be. By the time I got round the bar, he had already finished his art. Just damn scribbles, if you ask me. Tell me about the empty case. Your pride and joy? She's my bat. The slugger that made me the highest school home run record. Well, for a year at least. Unfortunately, your slugger is now evidence in a homicide. They steal the only thing that means anything to me and use it as a weapon? Hope you're going to find that damn kid. Are you saying it was the same kid that damaged the pool table who took it? You saw him? Of course I did. That little punk got behind the bar and stole it from its case without a second thought. So I actually saw Zeke go behind the bar and steal the bat. Why didn't you try to stop him? I'd come around the front of the bar to grab one of them, and when I looked back, that Zeke kid had his hands all over my bat. Just to reiterate, it was only Zeke behind the bar. Sounds like he was putting on a real show. He was the only one, but that doesn't mean the others are any less guilty. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to gauge how much Zeke was acting on his own accord. The others thought it was hilarious and were goading him on, if that makes any difference. So Zeke now has hold of the bat. What happened next? I chased him. Well, tried to. Didn't have much chance keeping up. And that's the last you saw of them? Any idea where they were going? Running out of the lot, I heard something about a Max. I was a bit too preoccupied to worry about where they were going. And you sure it was Max he heard? Yeah, he could have been any of... Yeah, he could have been any one of them, or just another thug. I would know the difference. I think this is right. Oh, this is wrong. Is it Max? Ooh, it's very wrong. Wait, what am I supposed to be trying to find out? Because none of this feels like it's supposed to be wrong. Please don't tell me it's something as stupid as this. Okay, good. To me, it's literally gang-related. Baseball bat. Zeke Matthews. But supposedly that's wrong. Looks quiet as usual. Talk to Guy and have a look around. Already did that. I'm gonna have to just hit it. So we can connect Zeke and his gang with the bat that killed Justin. The guy's account of Zeke stealing it from behind the bar confirms it. Strange that he was the only one on some sort of vandalism rampage. Showing off to his gang mates, maybe he was proving a point. That he deserved his place in the gang. If the gang Justin was running with was Zeke's rival, surely there's a motive to attack him too. What better way to get a name for yourself than killing someone from a rival gang? I think it's time we found Zeke. Oh, that's why it's... Well, this is going to be really low score. That's actually not bad. spoke with the uniform. We were right. The two gangs are at war. Something Masked Lover can probably shed some light on. About that, nobody knows where he is. Do you think he ran? Let's get uniform on it. We need to find him. We may have a more pressing matter to deal with first. Over finding our runaway Max? Kyle just came in. A body's been found in the parking lot of Guy's Sports Bar. Zeke Matthews. Sounds like someone caught up with him before we could. I'll start the car. Guy Abbott called it in. Let's see what he's got to say. Ooh, it could be the mother. I never thought of that. Well, I didn't see this coming. Nothing in this town surprises me anymore. What are you thinking? Oh, what are you thinking? Nothing yet. Mr. Abbott, what a pleasure to see you again so soon. Want to tell us what's going on? I thought that was pretty obvious. Mind if we go over a few details? Ask away. Zeke Matthews is dead at your front door. You don't have to tell me, I found him. I need you to walk us through what happened. I was behind the bar as usual and I heard something going on in the parking lot. Can you elaborate? I'm used to someone not handling their beer and starting something, but the usual suspects are inside. So I came out and saw the kid on the ground. Tell me more about what you heard. The bar was quiet, so the sound of revving and wheel spin caught my attention. Sometimes joyriders think it's clever to do donuts out here. And then what? Then I heard a loud thunk. It was heavy, like a dead weight hitting the ground. Sorry. Bad choice of words. It seems an awful coincidence that Zeke vandalizes your bar and the next day shows up dead in your parking lot. I called you guys. If I killed someone, do you really think I'd do it here? That doesn't answer my question. I told you I was behind the bar. All the guys in the bar can confirm it. I only heard Zeke was around when Reed called. What do you mean Reed called? He's had more hassle with Zeke than anyone. He called earlier to say he'd been hanging around the diner again. What else did Mr. Stanfield have to say? Not a lot. He seemed pretty fired up. I said I'd be ready if he came back, but he never even made it to my door. That's true. Could be him too. Broken glass. Tire tracks. I highly doubt this is an accident, but imagine if it were. Is that a camera? Please tell me it's not one of those fake cameras. Mind if we go over a few more details? Ask away. That security camera, any chance you can get a copy of the footage? It's been bust for a while now. More of Zeke's handiwork. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, so everything's laid out before us. We just have to put it together. No? No. Okay, that's fine. Well, the blatant murderer... not murderer. The blatant murder weapon is the vehicle. The only problem is, who did it belong to? I gotta be missing something, because none of this ties together quite right. That or it's just something I'm supposed to know that I don't know. Because this does not make sense. We're missing entire chunks of information. So you get a call from Reed, which I have written there. He found the body. Security cameras bust. Thanks to Zeke. Well, I know it's the vehicle. I could play a guessing game. I think it was either Max or Donna. Could have been Reed. But I would bet more on one of these two. I thought maybe. Like, you did this to him, so... I feel like that's connected. This blood on the glass does not help me any. I'm missing... I have to be missing something. There's no way that this is all there is. Maybe I'm stupid, but I don't understand. I didn't want to check that again. But I don't understand the connections that need to be drawn. I thought I connected those at some point and it didn't work. Maybe. I guess I didn't. I must just be thinking ahead of what I'm... That's fine. I think I might have something. What are you thinking? His injuries are too severe for just an old-fashioned gang beatdown. What about a vehicle? If you're right and it was a vehicle, these fragments must be from the collision. They must have hit him with some speed to cause that much damage. Another dead kid on our hands. Who do you have as a suspect, Reed? Could he have done it for Donna? I don't think he would go that far. Reed told us that Zeke and his gang were scaring away his customers. If that meant he was losing business, that diner is his livelihood. That's a more likely motive for me. And what do you make of the phone call? Questionable. Why wouldn't he just phone us? Unless he's going to take matters into his own hand. Max is still AWOL. Missing, with a pretty strong motive. Hid in the trash while his friend was beaten to death. That'll scar you. Maybe he's out for revenge. We can't rule him out. We need to find him. I guess these are our suspects, even though I still feel like Donna's the suspect, but okay. Tire tracks suggest the victim was hit from behind. He didn't even see them coming. COD was injuries from the car's impact. On that uniforms just radioed in a description of a vehicle speeding away from the bar with a broken headlight. It matches Reed Stanfield's. Reed? Maybe Zeke did push him over the edge. He was behind the wheel. No visual of the driver, but of the damage from the scene matches his car. We're one step closer. Let's pay Mr. Stanfield another visit. You think he would take a life over some graffiti and a broken phone? Maybe that's not how he saw it. That diner is his life. True. Have we found Max Glover yet? Not yet. If there's one way to make yourself look guilty, it's going into hiding. Let's get an APB out on him. If he's involved, I want him found. Demanding. I like the side of you. You better get used to it. Here we go, final part of the case. Okay, you ready for this? I'm ready. Reed has some explaining to do. Can't talk to Donna. Mr. Stanfield, I have some questions for you. Okay, okay, I don't know what else I can tell you, though. Ask away. We have a report that a car matching yours was involved in a hit and run. And you think it was my car? No way. There are thousands of cars like mine around here. I can't do his voice like I did it before. I don't know how I did it before. But not all of those cars are owned by someone who has a motive for killing Zeke Matthews. He's dead? And you think it was me? I don't know how I did it before. He's been involved in a hit and run, and like I said, a car matching yours was seen leaving the scene. Don't get me wrong, he got what was coming to him, but I had nothing to do with it. It's not right, it was more nasally. I know I did it more nasally. We saw some damage to your car on the way in. Can you explain where it came from, if not from today? Still have sleep when taking out those deliveries? You think it would be... You think I would be stupid enough to do that? I rely on those deliveries for extra cash. Okay, so can you explain how it happened? I was at the cross junction. Some idiot in the truck took the corner too fast and scraped the side. I got his details. You want me to find his number? That won't be necessary. That's the only damage? The only damage I know about. You've been here all day? Correct. I've been rushed off my feet most of the day. Can anyone confirm you have been here the whole time? A couple of regulars. Okay, does anyone else have access to your car? I keep the keys behind the counter. You could just answer the question. If I'm not out delivering, it sits outside. Sometimes it needs moving if we have a full lot. Whoever is in normally does that for me. Has anyone moved it today? They must have. I always park right out front, but it's at the back of the lot now. Mr. Stanfield will be in touch. It was Donna. They won't even let me talk to her. Mr. Glover, nice to finally catch up with you. Detective Clark. I need you to clear some things up. Okay, I guess. What do you need to know? It's convenient that you've shown up like this. What exactly are you doing here? I wanted to see Justin's mom. Why exactly? I had to tell her I was sorry. Sorry for what? I felt so guilty. She had to know how sorry I was. What do you have to feel so guilty about? Everything. If it wasn't for me, Justin would still be alive. He was involved with the gang. He must have known what he was getting himself into. I took him to a couple of meetups. He just wanted to know what we did. I never intended this, I swear. Taking a friend to a gang meetup. What did you think was going to happen? He wanted to make a quick buck, and after they saw how he could sell their product, he was set. He ended up dead because of it. He shouldn't have even been there. It was all my fault. How did Zeke know Justin was going to be there that evening? He didn't. He must have followed me there. So why would Zeke target Justin if he was following you? Justin was just standing up for it. It was me. I was the target. Zeke wanted to settle some old beef we had. I never meant for this to happen. It's a bit late for that now. I should never have sent that email. The email arranging the meeting in the park, you sent it? He wouldn't talk to me. The only way to get through to him was for him to think he was meeting for a deal. So they were his drugs at the scene. The only reason he was even there was because he thought he was making a deal. I just wanted to talk to him. I couldn't let him throw it all away. But you could let him take the beating from Zeke. Going AWOL isn't the best sign of innocence. Where have you been today? Innocence? What am I meant to have done? You don't think I killed Justin? You are aware that Zeke Matthews was run down by a car this afternoon. What? No, I had no idea. I'm struggling to believe that. When you had a strong motive, revenge for the death of your friend. I hated him, but I wouldn't kill him. He killed your friend while you hid in the dumpster. Surely it doesn't sit well with you. Of course it doesn't. I couldn't have killed him, no. I've been here all day. Ask Reed. Well, I'll come back if I have any more questions. Don't go anywhere. I wish I had never got him involved. Let me highlight her. I'd like to just go over a couple things. If it will help clear my name. Ask away. I can't do it. How long has Max been here? A good while. He came in to speak to Donna. They had a pretty heated conversation, then she stormed off. I just thought she was taking a break. Do you know what they were talking about? No idea, but it seemed intense. I heard Justin's name come up, but that's all I could hear. And he's been here since then? Yeah, he ordered some food and sat at the bar waiting for her to come back. He didn't want to talk to me. I did call for her. I thought they should just sort it out. Whatever's going on, she must not have heard me calling. Is that normal for Donna to ignore you calling for help? Not at all. She's normally straight back. Not at all. She is normally straight back out. She knows that if I'm calling, it must be busy or I need her help. She hates missing out on tips. I have some further questions for you. What do you need to know? Reed said you came here to speak to Donna? I came to see her here this morning and I told her everything. It all just came flooding out. The meeting, the gang, his murder. I can't imagine she took that very well. I've never seen someone go so white so fast. I thought she was going to throw the pot of coffee on me, but she just got up and left. She left. Where did she go? I called after her, but she disappeared into the back. I waited for her to come back so I could apologize again, but Reed told me she had gone on her break, so I waited. Miss Kugler, I wonder if I could have a minute of your time. What is it? Justin's gone. What else do we have to talk about? I was hoping to ask you some questions. Go ahead. Could you tell me about Reed's car? His car? What exactly do you want to know? You should speak to him about his car. We have, and now I'd like to speak to you about it. I understand the keys are usually left behind the counter. Sometimes, yes. I'm not normally paying attention to where he keeps the keys. But have you used it before and got the keys from there? If he's asked me to move the car or something, yes. We noticed there was some damage to it. Would you know anything about that? Damage? What sort of damage? Why don't you tell us about the damage you know about? Well, okay, I had a little bump with the streetlight. Nothing major. No one was hurt or anything, only my pride. And the car? Maybe a cracked headlight at worst. Surely you aren't going to arrest me for it. Can you tell me about your whereabouts today? I've been here. All day, same as always. Yeah. I just have a few more questions. Go ahead. You've been here all day. What about your break? I had my time and no longer. I'm entitled to that, aren't I? You stayed in the diner on your break? Is there someone who to confirm that? I may have stepped out. I need to clear my head. Even you can understand that. I can only imagine after what you've been through. So, this walk you went alone? Here to take me through where you went? Yes, I was alone. Can't really clear your head with someone else there. I don't know, just around. I take it you let Reed know you were leaving? I'm pretty sure he saw me leave. I'm not telling him everything. I couldn't help but notice that the damage to the car headlight looks fresh. Maybe it wasn't me then. It's Reed's car. He's not aware of any new damage. Damage that matches the broken glass we found at the scene of Zeke's murder. He's a bar's parking lot. I'm sure there are plenty of accidents there. I didn't mention anything about a bar's parking lot. It's been a long couple of days for you. I'm sure you had a lot to think about, including finding out who murdered your son. I don't know what you're talking about. We spoke with Max. He told us about the conversation you had this morning. I know if I just found out who killed my son, I'd be on the hunt. No, it's not like that. Max told me all these lies about Justin. They weren't lies, though, were they? Those thugs corrupted my Justin. He would never have got involved with drugs or a gang. Maybe not. So when you were out in Reed's car, when you found Zeke, he gave you more truths about Justin? No, I didn't speak to him. You don't know what you're talking about. Here's how I think it went. The boy was taken from you, and you couldn't let Zeke get away with it. Just because I wanted him dead doesn't mean I would actually do it. Maybe. But when you saw him, the pain of losing Justin surfaced and you saw red. Justin didn't deserve to die like that, and Zeke just looked so... So you did see Zeke? No, the evidence is building up against you, Donna. We have your weak alibi. It's not a crime to go for a walk on your break. We have your knowledge of the force damage to the car, the damage that Reed is unaware of. Well, maybe he forgot that I told him. And we have a motive confirmed by Max. I couldn't take Max's lies anymore. So when you got to the parking lot, you decided Zeke's fate. He didn't even see you coming. He took everything from me. That doesn't excuse taking a life. He had no remorse for what he'd done. I just couldn't take it. I think we can finish this up down at the station. Did he want to talk to me? Nate, I mean. Did Nate want to talk to me? No. I'm seeing things. Don't worry about it, Nate. Nate, I said don't worry about it. Stop showing up in this. Another case closed. That scorned mother. We should have seen it coming. Donna Kugler is in holding. She hasn't stopped crying since she was brought in. I'm sure she hasn't. Like most of the persons we bring in, realizing they're here for the long haul. It's probably just hit her that she'll never see her mother again. And that's the price she'll pay for murdering a teenage boy. No matter how awful he was. Zeke had already torn that family apart. Isn't that punishment enough? I'm not sure what you're getting at. Oh, that's a sharp choice, yeah. I don't agree with what she did. I agree with why she did it, but I don't agree with what she did. And unfortunately, I can't even imagine what she must have been feeling, but we can't ignore what she has done because of her reasoning. You can understand why she did it? Of course I can. Her son was murdered, but she got to be prosecuted. She broke the law, but she's got to be prosecuted. Even if it means her mother will probably fall into the system, spending her final days alone. Donna should have thought about that before she took a life of her own. She ran him down without a second thought. She made the decision to act. It's on her. We don't make the rules. It's the right thing to do, isn't it? This one is on you. You didn't answer the question. I did. Detective Clark, congratulations on your double homicide. I knew I made the right decision with you. 2 dead, a grieving mother, and a grandmother falls into the care system. Not much to celebrate. 2 solved cases, that's a victory in my eyes, and the governor's. As long as the numbers are good, right? I'm glad you see it my way. Regarding your other assignment, sir, I eagerly await your report. Well, that is where we're going to be leaving it for today. Not the chipper ending that one would hope for, but what do you really expect from a double homicide? So, okay. So tomorrow we'll be returning to our usual evening time slot. And it should stay that way. Okay. So usual evening time slot on tomorrow. That's Sunday. Monday should also be the same time slot. Tuesday there will be no stream. Wednesday it will be an afternoon time slot, an hour from this point, or from when we started the stream today. It'll actually probably be a little before when we're ending it today. A little before. No stream on Thursday. And then for the coming while, it'll be evening time slots again. That can change at the drop of a hat, unfortunately. It's what I get when I base the stream schedule around my work schedule. Tomorrow, I think we're going to actually return to Rogue Lords for another little bout. And Monday, next week, I want to swap between a few different things. I think I just accidentally opened something up. Yeah, next week, I think I want to swap between a few things, see what works, what doesn't. But we're going to be sticking to the general spooky theme, horror themed in some cases, mystery themes. Although I think this is literally the only mystery I have planned. There might be something else, though. We'll find out when we get there. But we'll just do a bit of this, a bit of that, and should be a fun time. I think so, anyways. I'm going to start by turning on the emote-only chat just to be safe. There hasn't been any concerns lately, but I want to just be safe. Hopefully tomorrow I actually remember to switch to Rogue Lords to stream it instead of leaving it on something that isn't running, which I'm not going to get over that. But yeah, that is the end for today. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time. But for now, this is the end of the stream. This is the end of the stream. I hope you had a good time and that you'll come again. But now this is the end of the stream. Thank you and goodbye.